talk about beauty and aging and saving face. So, I want you to imagine a life where you never have to feel like you need to worry about your face falling, about getting Botox or injections or a facelift or an eye lift or a brow lift or a lip filler or any of these things. I'm turning 50 soon. I've had 3 children, a very busy, intense life, and I have never had a single one of those things. I've never even had so much as a deep peel or laser. I've never had a single injection. I've never had Botox, and I can move all that jazz. I've never had a lip filler, anything. Everything is exactly as God made me. And the reason my face is intact at this stage of my life is simply because my internal terrain is clean. It's that simple. All of the distension in the face, the weight that's carried in the face from just inflammation, all of the degradation of the muscular and skeletal system in the face, that's all due to the accumulation of waste residue in the body. It migrates throughout the body, it migrates to the face, it weakens the skeletal structure in the jaw, in the cheeks. And I also don't get manicures. I don't get manicures or pedicures. Everything is very pure. I wash with Dr. Bronner's soap. I use apricot kernel oil after my bath or shower. I don't use anything that needs to be formulated in a laboratory. Everything is just pure and simple. But life thrives under the conditions of cleanliness. So if the internal terrain, meaning what's inside your body, the tissues, the cells, are clean, they're sane, then the whole body is going to radiate with life. And life, when it doesn't have all the bombardment of artificiality around it and coming into it, it is regenerative naturally. So yes, I'm living in the modern world, but I'm able to mitigate so much of that artificiality that would otherwise bring my body down, unravel it, cause entropy, by keeping my system clean and not using toxic products and not engaging in toxic events, not having toxic thoughts, and using words of life as opposed to words that would otherwise be destructive. So forgiveness is another big part of it, letting things go, all of that. Because if you take an inventory on all of the things that can stick in the tissue, in your electromagnetic fields, that is what's going to degrade your blueprint, your whole makeup, the integrity of your vital electromagnetic field, and the vitality and integrity of the intactness of your physiological body. So if we keep those clean, if your electromagnetic fields are clean and your physical body is clean and they work together, then you're not going to have to worry about losing face. Literally, your face falling. So I just want to share that with you and empower you with that knowledge, because the simple things that I do on a regular basis just to keep my body clean prevent me from ever having to worry about the things that most women in my stage of life are very much consumed by. So I'm not running around to get these things and these treatments done. I'm not having to waste my time, my resources, even my concern around them, because I do just one thing. I just keep my body clean. But that requires a steady routine, a steady ritual of cleansing the body through colon irrigation, through green diet. But when you do that, it eliminates the need and the concern for all of these other things that we pretty much rather not have in our lives, right? If you're honest, if you've been doing those things or thinking about doing them, wouldn't you like to be able to let them go? And the other thing that happens with these injections is the residue from these injections remains in the skin and it starts to collect. And you'll see there's these telltale signs of people who've been getting the injections. There'll be gatherings of substance right around the jawline. There's obvious other signs, but that residue itself needs to be cleared out of the body. So if you're someone who has been doing those things and who has been compromised through maybe a lot of surgical procedures where you have a lot of scar tissue, you need to be enhancing the flow as much as possible. You need to make your blood as clean as possible. You need to make sure that your internal terrain is as clean as possible to neutralize, to mitigate that which has been done that has compromised your body in those ways. So the only way to flush that residue from the injections out of the body is through colon cleansing, is through the purification of the channels of the body through the lymph, which is ultimately always going to come down to what's in the bowel. So the more we can move the waste matter out of the bowel, the more of this waste from all over the body, because the body is totally porous, can then migrate. It will be called down because there'll be a vacuum in the bowel. It will be called down for the next round of elimination. So you can systematically remove the accumulation from the things that you've done in the past that are artificial and reverse that process. Get it out of you and let your body basically regenerate, because all you have to do is create the conditions for the body to regenerate. And that's what it wants to do. That's what it's designed to do. It's full of this intelligence, this know-how, this intrinsic knowledge of what to do next. It just needs the conditions to be set so it can work. Otherwise, if it's full of toxicity, there's no space for it to work. It can't do the things it could otherwise do to regenerate you. It's the internal physician. It's the internal cosmetic surgeon. It's the internal beautician. It's the internal miracle maker. But we have to create the conditions by getting the toxic waste out, especially through colon irrigation and clean diet. And when we do that, all the good things can come forth.